I decided that I wanted to try more in the games, so I chose 5 different games from various studios, starting with Celeste. If you haven't already heard of Celeste before, it's a 2D platformer where you play as Madeline, a lassie who has both anxiety and depression, and who wants to try overcome these mental obstacles by overcoming the Celeste Mountain found in Canada. In game, however, the mountain has strange powers, most notably giving Madeline a boost ability as well as creating Madeline, who is Madeline's mental illnesses personified. Climbing the mountain was no easy feat, having so many difficult areas across 7 different chapters, some of which took me at most an hour to complete. And that's not even including any of the collectible strawberries needed for trophies later on. But even with the constant dying, I managed to climb to the top of the Celeste Mountain, and Madeline was finally able to overcome what she came to do. See if I die here. Oh my god, that's going to be humiliating. I've done it! Let's go! The peak of Celeste Mountain. Let's go! The peak of Celeste. Leaving me with the task of finding all the collectibles, which include 175 strawberries as well as 8 crystal hearts and B-side tapes across every chapter, which wasn't that hard with the help of guides. A minted looking heart. Thank you very much. What was hard, however, were the B-side tapes. These levels were much smaller than the story levels, but make up for it by cranking the difficulty way up. And since I didn't want to cheese the levels using assist mode, almost all of them took me around 3 to 5 hours to complete. I can go to bed. With all the B-sides complete, there was one last challenge before getting the platinum, and that was completing all the C-side tapes, which are even harder than all the previous levels. Or so I thought. Because the C levels were even smaller than the B's, muscle memory kicked in much faster than before, making it much easier to time my jumps. But even with it being slightly easier, it still took way too long to get past all 8 levels. Mind when I said there was one last challenge? Well, I lied. There's one final task for getting a 1-up, which you get for collecting 6 strawberries without touching any solid ground. Didn't even touch the ground for that long. Considering this is a miscellaneous trophy, I definitely struggled more with this than I did with the C-sides. Come on. Yes! I'm done. And with that, our first platinum of the video has been claimed. Celeste was an incredible experience, even with the difficulty, and it was so rewarding beating the game without any cheats. And before moving on, there's a 9th chapter added later on which I never ended up playing, which is even more difficult than the whole platinum. So if you want to see me return to this game in the future, let me know in the comments down below, and since you're there, you might as well like and sub. Recently in PS Plus, they gave us Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, and if I can be completely honest with you, I have absolutely no clue how to explain this game to anyone, so I'll let ChatGPT explain this one.
You play as Stanley, employee 427, in a drab corporate office. One day...
Right, that's enough. I'll take it from here. The game gives you so many choices, and of course loads of endings, before restarting back at the office like nothing ever happened. Stanley Parable probably has some of my favourite trophies in any game I've ever played. You get a trophy for just getting a trophy, another has you press quit just to join back again, and my personal favourite, Super Go Outside, for not playing the game for a whole 10 years. Holy shit, it's been 10 years. What the fuck am I doing, man? Another strange one, and my personal last for the platinum, was Commitment, for leaving the game on for a full 24 hours on a Tuesday. What did I do for the full Tuesday, you might be asking yourself? I played Pokemon. And with the long 24-hour wait over, I was finished with Stanley Parable, which was definitely more fun than I was expecting. The next game on our list is the newly released Lost Records Bloomin' Rage from the same team who made Life is Strange. This story follows a group of lassies during the summer of 1995. You play as Swan, who is in the process of moving away, and meet some new friends called Autumn, Nora and Kat. After bonding over an unfortunate event, they form a rock band and find an abandoned house in the woods, as well as a giant abyss which changed their summer. I don't want to spoil much since the game's still relatively new as I'm recording. But of course, this isn't a platinum video without collectibles, and Bloomin' Rage is no exception. Throughout the story you can find loads of different things to tape, including bugs, your friends, and a cat. As you collect the footage you can edit and delete them from your memoirs, getting some miscellaneous trophies, and again throughout the story there are many missables as well. Oh, only 4. But for me, I really struggled to play this game. It wasn't until near the end of chapter 2 when I really got into it, and I cringed a lot while playing Bloomin' Rage, which I knew beforehand since it's a game based around high school kids. But don't listen to me, try the game yourself, you might enjoy the story more than I did.
Just wish I brought my boombox.
Yes. On to our 4th game now, which is another camera themed game, Toem. You go out on a journey where the main goal is to climb to the peak of the mountains and experience the phenomena Toem. Oh wow. This charming adventure takes you across 5 different areas, which you do by getting stamps, which are found by completing quests. These are done by taking photos of certain people or objects scattered around an area, and after finishing some quests you can even take portrait photos of certain characters, giving them a cool art piece, which are my personal favourites. You can also take photos of all the animals scattered across the areas for more trophies, my favourite being the snail, which you get for waiting on it crossing the finishing line. Yes! Let's go! Since the game was so short, I decided to play the Bastel DLC as well, which takes you to a brand new island filled with new quests, adding around an hour of gameplay to this chilled game. It's pretty much the same as the base game though, so I won't bother going over it, but there was a really cool Easter egg I found which I never knew about in my first playthrough. Oh, I see it. Frame this. I didn't know this was in the game. What? No way! I love the art style for this game, and even its simple gameplay of taking photos and getting that eureka moment when you figure out how to finish a quest is so fun. And now for the last game, and probably the hardest on the list, Sifu. I already tried playing this game 2 years ago and quit right after the tutorial, so this time I finally stuck it out and it actually ended up being one of my favourite indie games of all time. The story has you take revenge for the protagonist's father, who, funnily enough, dies to your hands in the tutorial. You go to 5 different locations, each with their own challenging boss, and if you don't already know, every time you get killed, you get brought back to life just a little bit older. And when I say I struggled with this game, I mean it. Between getting the tutorial level trophy and finally beating the first level, it took me 2.5 hours. And the later levels weren't any better, taking me days to complete. But after learning how to dodge properly, it was a game changer. It still took me days, but I was getting used to the gameplay and I could do some of the levels with ease. But after a massive struggle, I finally made it to the Sanctuary. I ended up playing through the story another 2 times, first to get the secret ending, which I'll talk about shortly, and the second for beating the game under 25, as well as getting any miscellaneous trophies. Sifu's secret ending was much harder than the base ending, having you spare the bosses by breaking the structure bar twice. And while looking for tips for sparing them, I found a YouTube comment that really stood out to me. Accepting something is much harder than fighting it. Which is true, getting the secret ending was much harder, even after playing the game for weeks up until that point. And there was challenges like getting a score of 20,000 or more on any level, which I ended up cheesing because it was that hard, or even beating Yang under 25, which was the most incredibly difficult challenge. Holy shit. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Oh mate, fuck you and your wood. This was a fucking mission. Doing this 25 years or fucking younger. Please beat it. Come on. Please. Yes! Let's fucking go! Yes! But I climbed every obstacle and managed to overcome these challenges, even if it took a month. No way! I didn't think it would be the one with a knife. And with that, I platinumed 5 different indie games. Let me know in the comments any other indie titles I should play next, and I will see you in the next one.